Hi, welcome everyone. Today, I'd like to welcome to the next episode of Real Insights. And today we've got I'm very excited about the guest we've got today. This gentleman joined Real not that long ago, and I'm gonna let you introduce himself. But I'm super excited here today. And if you are thinking about, if you're an independent broker now, and you're thinking about how to grow your brokerage business, you might want to stay and watch this video because today our guest is going to share how he took his brokerage and paired it to be powered by Real Broker. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Cyrus Wheeler. Cyrus, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Thank you for the strong intro there.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit about me. Detroit native here. Our real estate company here is in Detroit. We serve what I call the Tri-County area, which is Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties here in Metro Detroit. Match Realty started about 3 years ago now. As of this year in February, we decided that, hey, we want to figure out how we can do more. And more is really our mantra for the year. And we wanted to see, hey, how can we do more as a company, help our clients more, and grow our business? And I kind of was fishing around trying to figure out where that would come from, had a lot of conversations. And then through those conversations, I found Real Broker. And to me, the rest has been history. Real Broker rolled out a program that I believe fit perfectly for what we were attempting to do, which is the private label program, which allows us to continue to keep our same namesake, our brand, all of who we are on that end, but kind of bolt on to the Real Broker ideologies and all the technology and all the amazing things happening with the stock and agent attraction as well. So it's been great so far. Super excited. And again, I think this is just the beginning of what we're able to do here ourselves, but then also what I should be able to introduce to other people here in our market and other markets across the country.
That's super exciting. I'll tell you this, it's interesting because you said a lot there. So at the beginning of the year, I guess if I were to, and if I'm putting words in your mouth here, just again, stop me. But I think it sounds like in the beginning of the year, you were basically saying, geez, your goals for Match Realty were like, we want more, more and more of all, all the good things, more revenue, more agents. And when you're looking for more, was it specifically like, a way to attract more agents to your brokerage? Was it looking for, more time so you don't have to manage your agents, or kind of what was it in terms of what you were seeking for before you came to Real?
Yeah. So what it was for us, it really started back in last year around September time. I kind of was, things started to slow down a little bit. You get into that world of thinking, okay, hey, it's time to potentially look at recruiting some people or bringing some agents on. And that was our mindset at the time. And we've never had an issue bringing on new agents. The biggest thing has always been the stickiness once the agent gets into the company. And I think pretty much every smaller brokerage out there kind of experiences that at some point in their growth phase, is figuring out, how do I not just bring an agent in, how can I get them to stay? How can I offer them all the nice, shiny, beautiful things that a brokerage has to offer outside of the fact of just working with Cyrus or working with Katie, working with somebody here, say, oh, wait, I really like them. But what about all those other pieces of the puzzle? What about training? What about again, agent attraction bonuses? What about the stock part? What about the technology? So it's all those other things that you're kind of running around as an independent brokerage, attempting to fill in those gaps. So that way you have that full product for an agent, not just at month one, but agent at, year two, but then also an agent at, year 5 or year 10, those superstar agents. So trying to find a solve for all of the pieces of the puzzle. And again, we started and we had conversations with everybody. When I say everybody. And
meaning like, to interrupt you, like meaning like different brokerages maybe to.
Yes, brokerages from far and wide, everyone you can think of. We had a conversation with them to see if that business model was something that made sense for us, or even as well, what I was completely open to is realizing that I could just do it myself. I was like, I might get to the point and just say, I could do it myself. Maybe I don't need anyone else in order to accomplish those goals. And at the end of the year, we hit the point and we say, hey, you know what? Nothing overly excited us. None of it made sense. We're just going to continue to do us. The goal this year is more. We're going to do more, achieve more. We got this ourselves. Everything's fine. And then 1 month in, I actually received a call and visit, and I won't say their name just because it's kind of, they were actually more of the reason why I ended up joining Real Broker. But a brokerage introduced themselves to me. I had never heard of this company ever. And they were like, hey, this is who we are. This is what it is. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't bad. This is, not a bad idea. And they got my wheels turning again. And then they mentioned Real Broker. I had never heard of Real Broker as of January of this year. And then when they mentioned Real Broker, I went and looked up the company and I started doing my due diligence, finding out everything. And I was like, oh, this is the company I actually want to join. And then that's how I landed on the Real Broker part. In February, I reached out to some people here locally who were a part of Real, and then started that conversation. And to me, like I said, the rest is history. But the whole idea with joining and kind of leaving our independent space was understanding where the whole marketplace was shifting. So it's not just, hey, we want to bring on people, hey, we want to keep agents and attract more agents, but also the landscape of what we do is shifting. And I felt that, last year, I felt that in January, February, it's kind of saying, hey, things are shifting. And I would rather be a part of a conglomerate of understanding a system that I believe in as things are shifting. So that way I feel like I'm a part of a team that if something was to shift, we kind of are able to all come together and say, hey, how are we going to tackle this idea, versus me, Cyrus, being here, sitting and hoping that I'm doing everything the best. And it's all just my independent ideas. So that was a piece of the puzzle. And then from there, it allows me to do less, right? So when you're going around saying, hey, I want to do more, I want to do more, I want to do more, you very quickly realize that in order to do more, you have to do less somewhere else. And that's what we eventually landed on, is saying, okay, hey, we want to do more of this, but what do we do about all these other things that we have? That's what we realize and say, hey, how much of this stuff can Real Broker take off of our plate to allow us to just primarily focus on the things that we deem to be most important, which is our clients, our agents, and the brand, and really focusing all of our time and attention on those things, and not, the paperwork, the processes, all the things on the back end that we can shift and give to someone else, which, Real Broker given to our office admin, and then we can take off and not have to worry about those things and really just focus on the things that we do best, which is helping clients.
That is great. There's a ton to unpack there, but I think the super exciting thing is, like, I guess you're looking at your journey. So you started out, like, kind of came to the end of the year saying, hey, we've looked at everything else. We're fine doing this alone.
Yeah.
Right. We don't, that you didn't need anyone, because there was obviously that original need to look for something.
Correct.
You were like, hey, I'm not seeing anything that's going to fit for my business. And correct. One of the things I think that is so powerful about the private label program that Real Broker offers is it's your business. It's not, correct. It's like, oh, Cyrus, this is your business. And what the program does is it basically takes all those things that you don't want to do and take them off your plate. Correct. And it gives you more time to focus on the things that are most important to you in your business, which is retaining agents, growing your agents. And like you said, we see this in whether it's a team, whether it's a solo agent trying to hire their first producing buyer agent or showing partner, that to get the success and continue success in real estate is tough. So to get someone to keep those agents, retention is so key. And that's what you've figured out here through the white label program, which is you've been able to meet your primary goal, which is more, but more is less. And as our president says, to do more things, this is a Sharon quote. I miss this maybe a little bit, but do fewer things to do more. And that is part of your goal here. So it's interesting to hear that you say that. And so when you made the switch, you've now got this incredible value prop to offer your agents.
Yep.
And they have all the benefits of Real. And then you as a business owner have the flexibility of really running your own business still.
Correct.
So from when you joined in February, how has that changed how you're running the business? Are you now spending more time, with agents trying to grow them and focusing on retention, or is it giving you more time to serve clients?
A little bit of both. Spending more time with the agents, But then as well, what we've been able to do is focus more again on the branding side. So I've always been able to help clients. You know, I'm available from that aspect, but spending more time pushing our brand out there to make sure that people know and recognize who Match Realty is. You know, as far as us locally here, you know, as a Detroit real estate office, we have for the last 3 years been one of the top 1 of 3 offices in Detroit. But
awesome.
not everyone knows who we are, right? Because of the way our business model works, we work a lot through our referral networks, our referral sources, and we haven't been historically spending a lot of time outward looking for clients to come to us. We work on our partnerships overall through our referral networks, and you know they know us in the referral networks, right? Because we close over 500 transactions in those referral networks, but the client may not know us up front, right? So what we've been trying to do is spend more time this year saying, hey, how can the client potentially know us a little bit more? Or if they don't know us already, what does that footprint look like on the back end? So that way, if they were to go, okay, hey, I don't know this company, but when they type in the name, what are all the things that they see? So that way they know us, they potentially have a reason to like us, and then they can trust us as well. Because those are the 3 reasons why people work with someone. No like.
That's right. No like and trust. No like and trust is key. And it's interesting. So you threw out a number there of 500 transactions. That's what you did last year, 500 transactions?
Nope. Over the last 3 years, we've done over, I forget, it's somewhere online. But over the last 3 years, I think it's over that number. But that's a number popped in my head from one of our referral sources. We've closed over 500 transactions with that one referral source in the last 3 years. And then we have other referral sources too. But that was just from one of our partners. That was the number that I was recently looking at. So
got it. So in terms of metrics, right? In terms of like real needle movers for you, is it when you looked? I mean, it's more, right? But when you came to Real, right? So now your business is powered by Real as of February, and you already had goals for the year. But you know, I'm sure those goals maybe just were revised a bit. You know, those goals were just tweaked a bit. And was the goal was necessarily more agents, more revenue, more transactions, or was it a combination possibly of the 3? I guess what's the key metric or metrics you're looking at this year for your business?
The biggest thing for us will be more agents, I believe. We're looking to grow our agent base. I think the other pieces will naturally happen. So I sometimes don't overly focus on the numbers, which is weird, right? Some people focus only on those, but I focus on the agents, and then I try to focus on the process, and then think about kind of the starting point. It's like, hey, because we have the process already preset, how can I make sure we're getting enough into our funnel, right? Like I just need to push people into this funnel essentially, so that way we have enough people in there to be able to operate our business. So, and that's where I focus all my time and attention on, is how many people can I get into the CRM to run the play inside of there, and then take them and pass it to one of the agents, you know. And I know that I did the right thing with the agents. We have the system set up on that end, and all we're doing is trying to push out, bring in as many people so that we can push them through our sales process essentially.
That's great. I think you're very smart, because I think one of the mistakes a lot of business owners make, and a lot of us have made, is you focus on so many different metrics, right? So you're like, well, I'm going to focus on agent, I'm going to focus on revenue, I'm going to focus on transactions, I'm going to focus on retention, I'm going to focus on a price point. And then through all that, it gets you end up getting lost, right? Your goals get watered down. But I think if you focus on that one metric, in your case, it's the agent count, right? And put everything around that. Now you've already got, it sounds like your machine built up. Now it's that agent count in getting that. So before you came to Real, how many agents did you have in your business?
So before it came to Real, and we have an interesting story too, and kind of how we were last year this time, I think we had about things like 20, 25 agents, and we kind of dwindled that down to try to get to a point where we are running as effectively as possible. And now we have a better system. And right now we're running with, when we started with Real, we were running with, was it 10? I believe 10 agents. And right now, again, that's where our single focus is growing from that 10 agent base that we're at right now, and attempting to, over the last couple of weeks, initially I was like, oh man, I want to I want to grow the team to 20, 30. And very quickly I realized like maybe 15, get to around 15 agents at our overall company. But I think the beauty of it, and the thing that has been great to have conversations with the people at Real, have conversations with other people outside of Real, is saying, hey, I now have the ability to help someone join what I know to be a great company and a great system in Real Broker, or they can come in and join Match Realty. So really giving them the option between either or is something that I haven't been able to do previously, where it's like, hey, only thing I had to give an agent is like, hey, you can come and join Match Realty. And if that didn't fit how they wanted to run their business, then I just had nobody to bring in or someone to attract to the company. But now we have the ability to say, hey, does this business model work? You can come and join our team, or hey, you can come and join our marketing team, or hey, you can just come and join Real Broker in general. We have different options and different ways for people to come into the company based on how they want to run their particular business.
I think that is key. You said I picked up two key things there. Is that number one is that you went through, which a lot of us have gone through in terms of either team owners or business owners, brokerage owners, and that is you had 25 agents, and of those 25, you kind of say, listen, this is and you probably had classic 80-20, right? 20 really producing, and then 80, some producing in that number, the rest of the whatever it was, 20 agents. We went through a very smart process, right? Which is just kind of getting down to the 10, right? It's almost getting smaller to grow bigger, right? Correct. And again, it's like to do, less, go fewer agents to get more agents. And correct. I think when you talk about, and I'll say, you don't have to have a goal of 300% growth to go to like 30 agents. You talk about a 50% growth to go from 10 to 15. Yeah. And you'll find in time that it's going to be in short time, right? That's your goal. And given your business model, you'll crush that. So I think that's where it's like, it's now you have this, you're powered by Real. And then this is a segue to the second point. The second point that you said, which I think is key, is that now instead of going through and telling an agent to say, listen, this is why, Match Realty is a great match for you, agent. And you go through the whole thing and you may come to realizations like, hey, this person is really not a match for me, for Cyrus and for my business. But gosh, this person really seems like they're more fit to be a solo agent, or they should be on this kind of team, or whatever it happens to be. Yep. It's all about fit, right? And if we're in this very collegial, what I call, environment between us as agents, you want the best, and you don't want to have someone that's not a fit for your business, trying to make that work. You want someone that's going to be a fit for whatever it is. And I think, for you're going to end up getting a better agent because you've got this double-headed monster, so to speak, right? It's like, here's this, here is the Match Realty platform. Here is what I offer you as an agent. And by the way, if it's not a fit, here is this. So I think it gives you some great options to go out there and to get the best agents.
I agree. And that's the goal, right? It's, finding people who I believe and they believe work best with, and kind of growing from there. But again, it's finding, I tell agents all the time, it's like, hey, a lot of agents, in my opinion, they end up at a brokerage and they have this just like allegiance to that brokerage. And I'm like, that's great. That's that's awesome. That you feel that way. But it's different to saying, hey, just because you like a particular broker or particular brokerage, does it work best for how you run your business? That's the thing that agents always need to separate and understand is, how do you want to run your business and who you will work best with? You could be friends with whoever you want to be friends with. Like you shouldn't be friends with somebody because you guys are at different brokerages. It's just about how do you want to run your business. And, I almost challenge agents to, if you haven't really been at more than one brokerage, you probably need to try out some different business models to really know. So you are so right, Cyrus. I think that's where I think two things there is that a lot of agents, will look to their broker to run their business. And at the end of the day, either if you're on doesn't matter if you're on a 100-person team, a 10-person team, if you're a solo agent, you are running a business. That is true.
And I think it's like, it's incumbent upon you to see which broker powers your business best. And I think that's the key for an agent. And to your point, it's like you've got to get out there and see, because there's, especially today, this isn't like it was, 20 years ago or 30 years ago. We have all these great choices today, right? All these business models have grown and adapted technology. I would say Real's maybe adapt a little bit better and leading the way in technology. But that said, there's some great choices out there. And I think you're right, is that an agent needs that perspective to see what's best for them.
Exactly. So, and I think more people will. I also, my biggest thing when I started Match Realty and we came in, I said, hey, our goal is to make sure that we're building a company that will be here in 10 years. Like, we don't want to come in and attempt to build a company based on what's happening around us. We want to build a company based on where business and where real estate is headed. And I think that partnering with the Real Broker is essentially that, because I believe most people will, more of the marketplace will be with an online brokerage and, a cloud-based business model. We can all still run around. Again, we have an office. You can still have an office of something of some sort. But I believe the traditional just brick and mortar type of business model is a tough business to attempt to grow into over the next 10 years. I think most people will be more cloud-based at some point.
I think exactly right. I think you look at the numbers, 80% of businesses are gone within 5 years, right? And kind of 80% of all startups. So it's like, well, I mean, Real becomes the insurance policy. And to break your point out further, I think what you're saying is that it's cloud-based. And again, a lot of people hear that and it's just kind of this black or white, either I'm, cloud-based or I'm not. Yeah. I think the reality is like you've shared with me, you've got an office, your great location, and you use that to power your business. You don't use it as an anchor, right? It's not holding your business back. It's not a cost of doing business. It's an investment. You're investing in the office space for your agents, but really your business is powered by the cloud. Correct.
Absolutely.
So you've been here since February. Obviously, still kind of in the honeymoon phase, so to speak. Yeah. But what any pleasant surprises you've seen since you've been here? Anything that you did not expect when you joined Real?
I think it's the collaboration between agents, and kind of the overall network. Being in that workplace has, and I'm a sponge when it comes to business and ideas and things that are happening. And I am in workplace just like I'm trying to get in all the groups just because there's so much knowledge just being passed back and forth. Like, for example, someone yesterday just sent me an email and say, hey, this is the mailer that I use. It's worked great for me here. I think he's out in California, and just sent me the whole mailer. And I was like, oh my God. So, literally I got here today. I got some envelopes. I'm going to print that mailer and, try to start sending it out and doing some farming as well. I learned about Flowdesk. I had never heard of Flowdesk in regards to sending out email marketing to a large group of people. I tried like MailChimp and didn't really like it a ton. We used Lofty, and I was trying to do something similar in Lofty, but Flowdesk, it's like $40 a month, and you can just pump out tons and tons of emails for all the listings you have going on. You can set different things in there to set up different groups, and it's worked wonders. And I literally learned it from just being in workplace. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a ton of things, but just being in there in the collaboration, no one's like trying to hold their cards and not show you and tell you exactly how they're growing their business, has been wonders for me. And I'm sure for my agents as well.
At all these conversations that I have, right? So I've been here at Real coming on 2 years.
Oh,
and
you're probably rich now that the stock price went up. Huh?
Well, yeah, it's been a very, very nice. I'll tell you, it's been a very nice run here. The last since December, it's been a very. You joined at a perfect time, by the way. But yes, it's been a very nice run. But I think the thing that I hear over and over and over again, Cyrus, is one thing is that it's like people make the move. People make any move for their own reasons early on. So you joined, and you had your own reasons. Obviously, joining Real. I have my own, and it's typically a combination of what we're attracted to in the value prop of Real. But the surprise, I think what we underestimate, because you just don't know what you don't know, is you get here and the collaboration. It's that word. I hear that word over and over again. And a lot of people say, well, it's the culture. But you actually really define culture. It becomes the collaboration. And workplace is mind-blowing. There is so much there. And like you said, you have a business challenge. You you throw it out there to workplace, it gets answered. You want
Yeah.
to do a better farming, boom, you threw it out there, you got a new postcard you're going to try.
And it wasn't even that too. So like sometimes I think as business owners, as we all are in real estate, you don't know what you don't know. So sometimes
you don't know. Yeah.
Me putting the challenge out there, it was someone else. It was someone else that had an issue, and I didn't know that I needed flow desk, and I realized that I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is amazing that this is available. And you just run across certain things that you just don't know that, hey, other people are using this, and we have this large 18,000 person network of agents just in there, just, hey, what's this, what's that? Same thing. There's a group in there that just helps everyone with YouTube. And I really want to get into the YouTube space. And there's everybody in that chat just saying, hey, do this, do that. Hey, try this camera, try this video, try this hook, try these things. And it's just amazing.
It's incredible. And it's like, you would have found it, but like you would have found Flow Desk eventually, right? Maybe. Right. Maybe, but like, you to think about it, without that kind of collaboration, you never would have found that. I mean, let's say now you may have bounced into it 5 years from now, because you had to physically, old school, right, kind of just work through your network, and it may have come up, but like the workplace is instantaneous, and I think that's where the information is just seamless. It's right there, whatever you need, and that kind of collaboration is just people helping each other. That I think is the secret sauce, is the sharing of information, the collaboration that happens inside a workplace.
I agree.
So this has been a great conversation. I mean, we have, and I love your approach, and it's a good reminder for all of us is that, less is more, and having that goal is more. And then what's most important is taking that one goal and getting more of it by doing less of other things. So it's awesome that it sounds like Real Broker is not only going to be able to, the white label program, not only going to elevate your business, but it's going to get more of your time back personally, which is awesome. So if there's any independent broker or any agent for that matter that's thinking about making a switch, what would you tell them to look at in terms of if they looked at Real?
Yep. What I would say is, I would imagine everyone has their numbers down. Look at your numbers. The way I looked at it, and this is how I was able to kind of run the math and kind of look at everything to have it make sense. Because I'm a numbers guy. Everything else is it's just an is thing. And I appreciate all the other elements, but it really came down to the numbers. And I said, hey, based on how the elite program is set up, and what it provides for me and what it provides for the agents, based on how the cap structure is set up as well, when you become a part of a team versus individual agents as well, I looked at it and said, I am joining in Real. I'm still Match Realty. I'm essentially looked at it and said, I am hiring a broker. And that's how I look at it. I hired Real Broker to be the back end broker for our company. So that way I don't have to be the broker anymore. So, if you want a world and you're saying, hey, I want to get out there and do more in the sales world. I want to get out there and do more overall. That's kind of how I leaned into it when it came down from a numbers perspective. And I think it's cost-wise, it's way more cost-effective than ever hiring a broker, because I almost hired brokers multiple times, and you're talking, I don't want to say numbers, but you're talking, sometimes into the six figures that a broker will want in order to come and help you run the company. Where in this sense, if you're an independent brokerage or even a team in that aspect, you come in, you hire a Real Broker to bolt on your business to, is very cost-effective in what it has to offer. Completely dwarfs
it's pretty mind-blowing when you think of it. It's like and you, like you said, you could go out there, and every brokerage has to do this. They have to hire a broker, and ultimately, if as a broker, it's almost impossible to wear all hats, right? To retention, attract new agents. You try it, and you have to, right? Because that's just the nature. But now it gets to the point where you say, I'm going to hire a new broker, and now the choice is either I can go out and spend, 6 figures plus possibly, and have this person come in and run my brokers and serve as my broker in charge, or I can actually go to Real and they're gonna actually pay me to be a broker. I mean, that doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't.
And that's how I looked at it. And again, all the agents are going to benefit more. Our brokerage is going to benefit more. And then again, we have the unique opportunity to continue to be ourselves and continue to grow what we believe to be a great brand in Match Realty, but still benefit from all the things that Real Broker has to offer. So to me, it's a win-win for anyone who wants to be themselves. Again, there's nothing against anyone who's, Match Realty powered by, blank, hey, I think it's a huge benefit for people to know that you're part of a huge conglomerate. I am very local. I try to build a very local feeling brokerage, a little tight knit to the community. And that was really important to me to keep that namesake and that brand the same as we continue to grow and move here in Metro Detroit. Is continue to be Match Realty how we originally looked to our consumer base.
Well, I think someone made this comment to me recently that, they've spent so many years building their brand, they don't want to make the switch.
Yep.
And I said to them, very simple, I'm like, you don't have to.
Correct.
It's like, as an independent broker, you spent all this time building your brand. In the end, you do not want to throw that brand equity away.
Exactly.
Keep it and just power your business differently, and basically hire a broker and have them be paid, by joining Real. So,
so they said that to you, and you were like, you know what? I'm going to record a video with Cyrus and send it to you.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I'll do. So it's been an awesome discussion. I really appreciate your time. So if anyone out there wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to contact Cyrus Wheeler?
I would say Instagram. Reach out to me on my Instagram account.
What is that?
At Mr. Cyrus Wheeler. So Mr. Cyrus, C as in cat, Y-R-U-S, Wheeler, W-H-E-E-L-E-R. That is my Instagram account, Instagram handle. I'm on there way too much. My phone tells me all the time. So just reach out to me. I'll be on Instagram. Any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to me directly.
That's all. Thank you again, Tyler. And thank you again to everyone for joining us. And we'll see you on the next video.
All right. Thank you.